Hey, you! Yeah, you! Are you a beginner who's recently made a little bit of money woodworking?
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're about to blow that money on something outrageously stupid and expensive, right?
Oh, great heavens!
Don't be that guy! There's been multiple ways to make money woodworking for thousands of years. So whether you're a carpenter, a weekend warrior, or just a beginner, chances are you've made some money woodworking. So the question is, how do you go from this to this? Join me today as I show you how I made and spent my first $18,175 in woodworking. Welcome to the old shop. So the first purchase that I ever made in my woodworking journey is this miter saw right here from Harbor Freight for $75. And it was $75 because I used one of those 20% off coupons. And how did I even get that money in the first place? I actually sold candy in high school. I used to walk to the Dollar General and buy candy tin for $1 and then walk back to the high school and sell it for 25 cents a piece. So after I spent the $75 on this, I had literally no money left. So I had to use free materials. And what materials I could find were pallets and old barnwood. And what I would do with the pallet is I would cut it in half and then put wine bottles on the top and have a little wine glass rack on the bottom. And I was able to sell 10 of those to friends and family for $100 a piece, which gave me $1,000 in pure profit, which I was able to spend on my next 2 pieces of equipment that I bought for my wood shop. So the next 2 pieces of equipment I bought with that money was this DeWalt miter saw right here for $400 since I got it on special, and a rigid job site table saw, those ones that fold up and you can roll around. So once I got those 2 pieces of equipment, what I was able to make with them were shoe carousels and beer bottle cap tables. My 17-year-old self in high school was going to bars, getting beer bottle caps from them, getting trash bags fulls, and then I would lay them out on a table, put them all on there, and then pour epoxy over them and sell them as like card tables and gaming tables. And I sold them to bars and different football fans, and I'd make different logos of different sports teams, and I would sell those for $400 a piece. I would sell beer bottle cap tables and shoe carousels with my new miter saw and new table saw, and that paid for my next piece of equipment, which at the time was a huge purchase for me. Get going, get going. Ah! This right here was the next piece of equipment I bought for $400 off of Craigslist. At the time, it was a huge expense for me, and it worked great at the time. It no longer works. I've just been keeping it for scrap metal. This thing was my very first planer, once again, off of Craigslist, I got for $400. And this allowed me to get into cutting boards and selling them to, once again, friends and family and teachers at school. And I would make these giant oversized ones and sell them to people looking to barbecue and stuff like that. So after I sold enough cutting boards, I was able to buy my next piece of equipment, which was the Grizzly 16 to 32 inch open-ended drum sander, which I no longer have, but I bought that piece of equipment for $800. And what this allowed me to do is start doing those 3D cutting boards and then the brick pattern ones, right? Where you take the walnut and the maple and make these brick shaped cutting boards. And what I did with that is I got into a couple stores and then started selling stuff to people at auctions. People start buying that for me and donating them to auctions, which allowed me to make a lot of cutting boards. So I was able to make about 10 cutting boards a week at around $100 each. Before long, I had enough money saved up to actually upgrade that open-ended drum sander to my next piece of equipment. So the next piece of equipment I was able to buy should have been a fan because it is extremely hot in here. So the next piece of equipment I actually did buy was a 37-inch dual head drum sander from Grizzly for $5,000. Keep in mind, this whole time that I'm buying all this stuff, I'm in high school, I don't have high cost of living, right? Everything I made, I just reinvested it back into equipment. I knew if I bought better equipment, I can make more stuff, therefore make more money. Now that I have that dual head drum sander, I was gonna start ramping up production of those in-grain cutting boards, right? I was able to send multiple through at a time, and then I started making domino tables. I was able to make some beautiful domino tables because now I can send a 30-inch top through there. The problem was that the drum sander kept flipping the breaker, and I could never get that second head adjusted right whenever I changed out the sandpaper. So what it ended up doing is they ended up trading a guy on Craigslist for this table saw right here, this saw stop. So this thing was absolutely free, kind of. So after selling enough domino tables and in-grain cutting boards to friends and family, and now starting to go out to businesses and selling them at auctions and whatnot, I was able to upgrade my next piece of equipment. So the next piece of equipment I was able to buy is this 37-inch Woodmaster drum sander for $4,500. And I bought this because I wanted to start ramping up cutting board production and domino table production. I learned from my mistakes from the Grizzly. I didn't get 2 heads and I lowered the voltage down and settled for a Woodmaster, which has been an amazing machine. It still works. We still occasionally use it. And this right here is actually the first batch of ingrain cutting boards that I made, which is your typical chaotic cutting board, and then a brick pattern one made with pecan and walnut. Super cool. I made like 10 of these, put them at a local gas station. They sold like crazy. But the next thing I added after I started making these, I started doing inlaid cutting boards and giant chopping block carts. The next piece of equipment I bought was a Powermatic 15-inch planer for $1,200. I only used it for about 3 months before it crapped out on me and I couldn't use it anymore, which then I bought this Woodmaster planer right here for $4,200. And I actually bought a Woodmaster because you can interchange the heads. And I was actually thinking about doing crown molding at the time and different types of molding. Ended up never doing it, but it is a great planer. And this Woodmaster allowed me to plane more stuff so I can sell more cutting boards and domino tables and chopping block carts and all that good stuff. So then I could get my last piece of equipment before I bought my first CNC. And that piece of equipment is this edge sander right here, this jet oscillating 80-inch edge sander. So I should have bought this before I bought any other piece of equipment. I paid $1,100 for it, brand new, and it worked like a charm. It saved me so much time and energy, and it was absolutely one of the most cost-effective purchases I made because of how efficient it made me. This was the last piece of equipment I bought before I purchased my first CNC, and the reason for this video is because I want you to know that it's totally possible to start very small and work your way up. It is an amazing journey. I learned everything about every piece of equipment I have. I know the sounds, the way the sharp blades sound, the way the dull blades are, the way the heat is off the sandpaper. You learn so much about woodworking and so much about yourself when you start small and invest your way up, just like I did. And then after I got my first CNC, the journey was even crazier. We made a whole documentary about it on the channel. If you're just starting out or you're a seasoned woodworker, I hope this video was super helpful because really all these pieces of equipment mean so much to me. I mean, I get goosebumps just going over them because there's so much work that went into each piece of equipment that I got. It's unfathomable how much work went into this chaotic shop. So guys, I hope you left this video with more knowledge than when you started. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And remember, if you ain't cutting it close, you ain't cutting it right.